All right. Well, that was definitely an experience. Padres lose game one of this series. They've dropped 5 games in a row, had an opportunity to sweep Kansas City, choke that one away, get swept by the Bad Angels, and then they lose this game to another team that's under 500. So that's 4 straight losses against teams that are under 500. And the Padres, they're also under 500, though. So maybe I should stop saying, well, they're not playing the best team. Well, the Padres, they're not a great team right now either. Um, Man, we got to start with what happened there at the end because that's what I feel like a lot of people are going to be reacting to and what people are reacting to right now on social media. It's not the reason why the Padres lost this game, by the way. Let's make that pretty darn clear. Now, it took the bat out of Crony's hands, and Profar was on second base, so there was an opportunity there. But there were 2 pitches that Crony had an opportunity to mash. The first one that he didn't swing at, the second one that he fouled off. Those pitches were right down the middle. Now, it was a terrible call by the home plate umpire. It was not close at all. What's this dude's name? I know these guys are humans, but when you make that bad of a call, come on, man. Erich Bacchus, never heard of him, but Padre fans will remember that name from now on. My goodness, how bad of a call that was. It wasn't close. It was never a strike. It's not like it looked like a strike and then it went out. No, it was never a strike. It was always outside and then it just went more outside. And I wish Crony would have gotten more in his face. He was pissed off, obviously, said some words, but as he's walking away, then he turns and says some more words. I wish he would have just went off, let it all out, Crony. I know he's someone that probably wants to respect the umpires, but in that spot, I probably just would have went nuts. Mike Shildt goes out there, he gets ejected. Which why? Why are the home plate umpire when you make a crap call and the game is over? Why are you making a weak ejection? Why? You're the one that screwed up, but the umpire is not going to get fined. I don't know what the exact penalty is if someone gets ejected. Do they owe money to the league? I don't know, but probably I wouldn't be surprised. The ump doesn't really face the consequence immediately there. No, it's the Padres. So just sucks. But let's get to why the Padres lost this game. Randy Vasquez, first couple of innings, right, gives up back-to-back home runs. One of them wasn't even that bad of a pitch. He was down and away, and give credit to Suarez. But there were others that were pretty much down the middle, part of the zone, too much of the plate. But after that, I'll give credit to him. He was able to settle down. And so he goes 6 2/3. And this is the Padres, what, 6-7 starter? Let's remember that. So we got to lower our expectations. It's still a quality start. I know he gave up 2 bombs, but it's still a quality start. 6 2/3 from your 6-7 starter, 3 earned runs. I think you're going to take it. And the Padres offense needed to be better tonight. They went 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position, left 10 guys on base. That's why they lost tonight. You know, Profar booting that ball. Tatis is on second base and he's dancing off second base. Why? You're already in scoring position, dude. You can't get picked off in that situation. What are you doing? Just dumb things like that. And we've seen it's one thing to be aggressive, it's another thing to be reckless. And that there, in my opinion, was reckless from time. That wasn't aggressive. That was stupid. So there's a difference. But yeah, 10 guys left on base. I was not expecting Manny to go pinch hit. But when I saw he was in the dugout with the bat, I'm like, okay, he's coming into the game. I thought he was going to come into the game a little bit earlier, not for Higgy, which made sense. But I was thinking it was going to be for Wade, and then they maybe put someone else in. But it did make sense because you have the second catcher. You can have Campy go pinch run for Manny if he got on base. He didn't, obviously. But you have that. He can come into the game at catcher, and that's what happened. But Manny comes up. That was the loudest the ballpark had been, right? All night when Manny comes up, gets the big ovation, the Manny chants. Had, 2 runners in scoring position, second and third, and then he ends up grounding out. Obviously, for anyone that was watching, you could see that he was not running well. That's clearly an issue. And so I think Shildt said post game he wouldn't be surprised or like to not expect Manny to play tomorrow, essentially. Which I'm fine with. We need Manny long term, not just for this D-back series. And even without Manny, like, this team needed to be better with runners in scoring position. That's that. Bottom line, needed to be. You cannot go 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position and expect to win a baseball game. You might win a couple out of every 100, but you're not going to win very much. And tonight, obviously, they did not win. But yeah, Profar booting that ball and left, and there was a couple of errors from the Padres tonight. One from Higgy, one from Profar. Just wasn't a very fun night. You know, Tatis, that's the bright spot, right? Like, Tatis, he gets his first 3, I think it was first 3 at bats tonight, 3 hits. So he was 8 for 8 at one point before getting out. So that tied Kevin Kuzminoff, Padre legend Kevin Kuzminoff. I actually have a picture, I think, in my room with Kevin Kuzminoff at one of those Padres events with the Cox Channel 4 in the background. But yeah, history that Tatis had there tonight. Impressive. He's back. His OPS is at over 800. Profar's OPS under 900, but still at 898. That's really good. Him and Tatis are the only 2 regulars with an OPS over 800. So we'd like to see that change for the better. Have some guys at least creep up closer to 800. Maybe you're not going to get over 800 for someone like Ha-Sung Kim right now or Jake Cronenworth, but hopefully they can creep up there. Solano's at 863, but he's not playing every single day. But yeah, it was just frustrating today. You know, Tatis, he almost hits a home run to tie it late in this game, and that's just how it was. That was. It feels like that was the baseball god saying, "Nope, you're not. That ball's not clearing the fence tonight because you guys had so many opportunities to come through and you didn't." By the way, here's Mike Shildt post game talking about that crap call to end the game. And again, it's not the sole reason why the Padres lost. Sure, it took the bat out of Crony's hands. There was a runner in scoring position to tie it, but there's no guarantee Crony would have came through. He had 2 opportunities earlier in the at bat to come through as well. And how about the other 13 opportunities the Padres had before that, or since they went 1 for 14, so 12 that they didn't cash in on before that. But here's Shildt.
You know, I respect the umpiring profession highly, and I don't complain a lot. But I got guys busting their asses all night. I got a guy with a little mild strain with his hip flexor who shows up and willing to take an at bat, try to win us a ball game. That guy's playing their asses off all over the field, competing their tails off. Crony's in a dogfight there at the end against their closer. You know, we get a guy on base, Pro works a walk, steals a bag, gets a chance to tie a game, brings Suarez in. You know, listen, man, you can't end the game with a ball, 6 inches off the plate and borderline high. I mean, listen, that's just not acceptable. You know, and again, we lost. I take ownership of that. Don't want to blame anybody, but that's a bad way to end the ball game.
Yep, there you go. Just not acceptable. Bad way to end a ball game. Totally agree with Shildt there. Now, he did go on, for those that watched the post-game presser, he did go on and had some like bright side things to say and how his team, he has a bunch of ballers on the team. Padre fans, we don't want to hear that. I get Shilt's optimistic, but we don't want to hear that. We know that there are players that fight hard on this team. You don't need to keep saying it. You know, I think Padre fans are tired of that. We've lost 5 games in a row. You know, let's turn this around. I think there's fans that are definitely tired of the Shildt pressers. I'd rather have Shildt be positive than not be able to have that optimistic view, because it is a long season, but it feels like it's a lot of the same almost every night, and he's not telling the full truth in these post-game pressers. And there's been numerous examples. So I think that he's right in some things, but some things I don't always agree with.